Brady. I am a parent of a 3rd grader and a 6th grader. I also teach in the state of Rhode Island as a world language teacher. I serve as the chair of the special education parent advisory committee in the town of Medway, which, by the way, was very inconvenient, all of the locations of all of these forums. My grandfather was a Superior Court judge and he loved a good debate, so thank you for providing us with the opportunity of presenting our case to you. He would tell me to stick to the facts, so I will try as best as I can to stick to the facts. The MCAS was designed by pre-K through 20 educators, so that is pre-kindergarten through 20, which is far past higher education. And it was designed with the principles of backwards design. Where do we want our children to be? Where do they need to be? Where do they need to be along the way in order to get there? And so I would love to say that I could say the same about PARCC, but nobody knows. All of the records regarding the PARCC meetings and the development of the test are kept secret. Who was on that committee is anybody's guess, because that has not been publicly put out there. All the members of the MCAS design team were publicly recorded and have gone on record as to what their roles in that development of the assessment were. There's a focus on literature in the MCAS, therefore critical thinking. We have been highly successful in the state of Massachusetts on the NAEP, the Nation's Report Card. The world ranking and the International Test of Progress has been proven. We are top in the world in Massachusetts under MCAS. And PARCC very well may be the future of education, but nobody knows, and it's all kept in secret. So I don't know what teachers were saying that they looked over the test materials and felt that they were sufficient questions and that they were adequately testing our children. I signed a piece of paper that said that I cannot look over my children's shoulders as I'm a test administrator. I signed a piece of paper. I'd show you that piece of paper, except that there's a provision in that piece of paper that says that I can't show you that piece of paper. So I am not allowed to look at the test to assess whether or not it is a valid assessment of our students' progress. You will notice that teachers are absent from this debate, noticeably absent from this debate. The MTA, the Mass Teachers Association, the AFT, the NEA Rhode Island, most of your teachers' associations have come out with speaking against the PARCC as our assessment of our students. And part of the reason is that it's all done in secrecy. Pearson is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that is benefiting from our children, data mining our children against federal law, and there really is nothing that I can speak to about PARCC and the assessment of PARCC except as an administrator of the test. When I took the test to prepare for the testing, they asked me questions that were completely unrelated to the role that I said that I was participating in. And if that's any indicator of how the test is being administered to children, that as an administrator of that test and an adult and able to look at the various different things and assess, college educated, I have a master's degree, you know, if that's what we're testing our children on, I don't buy it. On the other hand, the MCAS results the test questions are put out there each year for teachers to, again, use backwards design. Use those as where do we want our students to be, what do we want them to be able to do, and use them as a resource within the classroom. And I see my children using those resources in order to learn the things that they need to learn and the skills within the Massachusetts frameworks. It aligns with the frameworks, and PARCC, it's unknown. And Mr. Chester, I have to ask you to recuse yourself from this debate. There's an indicator of impropriety, there is an indicator of a conflict of interest, and you should be recusing yourself as somebody who is, there is an implication of a conflict of interest.
Okay, thank you. So thank you all for coming and sharing your stories. I will respond in this case that it's the board's responsibility and we have counsel, and if we felt there was a conflict or an impropriety, we would act on it. We do not. Thank you. two more, Beth Contos and Nancy Lipinski.
Yeah, may I just ask a question?
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
back? What percentage of MCAS questions are released every year, and what percentage of the questions do we expect to be released from PARCC every year? Do we know?
I don't want to misspeak. Do you know the exact percentage? It's about half, I believe. It's about half of the questions, and we expect about the same proportion of PARCC to be released.
So the ability to use the questions from last year to understand, not last year, but if PARCC were our state test, teachers would be able to use released questions from last year to better understand the expectations of the test, just as they are now with MCAS, in your opinion?
That is correct. That's part of the design, is to develop new items each year so that some of the items that were used in any given year can be released for teacher use, for parents' use, and so forth. Very similar to the way in which we do that with MCAS.
Please.
My